was really just a full breakdown, everything that you need to learn, basically the A to Z.
From where to start, exactly what to do, how to do it, all the systems and programs.
The resources and things that were given throughout the training was just phenomenal.
All right, guys. Happy Friday. Hopefully everybody's doing good. If you're on Clubhouse, welcome. If you're on YouTube watching, welcome. If you're on Clubhouse, you can watch me live on the YouTube, my YouTube channel by clicking the link in my bio. But let's get started. So this is episode 36. I'm just going to get right to it. I left off not last week, because last week I didn't have it, but the week before we left off in Sacramento, California. The next one is in New Jersey. If you're new to this, you could submit your leads. You go to my Instagram, click the link in my bio. It'll give you an opportunity. You select the link to submit the leads. They got to be warm to hot. They can't be cold. They can't be on the MLS. There's a series of things that'll ask you. Just type it in there. They'll come up. If you're watching, okay, and if you're watching and I don't call your lead, it's because they didn't answer or I didn't get to it. If they don't answer, I move on to the next one. Simple as that. I'll call twice. If they don't pick up, I don't leave a text or voicemail. I just move on to the next one. So if you're watching and I call your lead, you're feel free just to resubmit it, okay? Anyways, let's get started. All right, so this one is in New Jersey. All right. Today, I'm going to be using call tools to dial these. Just going to copy and paste the number. Okay, let me see if I can share my share the audio on here. Give me 1 second. It's gonna sound a lot better. If you're watching me on YouTube, it's gonna sound a lot better. Okay. All right. Whoops. Let me see. All right, cool. All right, cool. If you're on YouTube, let me know if there's any audio issues because I am sharing the audio. Let me try this. Do it one more time. Share screen. Share audio. All right, there we go. All right, cool. All right, so here we go. Let me just copy and paste this and dial. Let's see what kind of sellers we get today. Let's see what happens. Let me see. New Jersey, asking $325. Minor repairs accordion seller. Complete rehab needed. How does that make sense? The property to New Jersey is now living in Miami, Florida. He says that he would like to sell the property for the right price, but is not in a rush to sell.
Your call has forwarded.
Let's try calling one more time. Anybody that says they would sell for the right price but isn't in a rush to sell is considered, in my book, a serious seller because we don't know what their right price is. When you get people that just say they want to hear an offer, they're not as serious as you think, okay? My whole team is trained to, weed out people that aren't serious by asking them those questions, okay? And if they're not interested in selling, no matter how much you give them, you just don't want to spend your time on somebody like that. It doesn't make any sense, you know? Hello?
Yeah, it's Dave Kloppenberg.
This is Mr. Mora?
No, Kloppenberg, David. Somebody called me from
Okay. I actually just called you. I believe somebody from this number spoke with my partner in regards to a property for sale in Grandview Avenue.
On what avenue?
Grandview Avenue?
No, not me.
Okay.
I'm in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know. They put in the notes here that somebody lived in Miami. Did you have any properties that you might be looking to sell?
I got one right now.
Okay.
But it's a lot of money. You're not going to want to buy too much money for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm an investor, so I don't want to waste your time if the price doesn't make sense, but I'll let you know up front if I'm a good fit or not.
Yeah, that's fine. We got it listed right now for $478 for a property with a house on. and a pool. Big
Anytime
pool,
I get an address, I'm going to mute myself. So
double
let me ask him for the address. I'll mute myself, and then I'll unmute
Or
myself. So give me 1 second, guys.
probably your thing. You know, but I think it's probably going to be too much money to use an investment.
Yeah, what's the
17
few houses in that area not too long ago. Okay, so and I'm sorry, what was your name, sir?
David.
David?
Yeah, David Kloppenberg.
Okay,
You know,
perfect. Well,
Green Star Realty is the realtor that means.
Oh, this is listed on the market.
Yeah, just yesterday.
Gotcha. Okay, what's it listed for?
475.
475. Okay. Yeah, because typically, we are a real estate investment company, but we also have a team of agents. So, typically we don't buy them if they're listed on the market, and we never want to waste anybody's time. You said you just put this on the market yesterday?
Yeah. I don't even think the signs in the dirt today they'll do that. But it's, I bought that place as an investment myself years ago.
He said he listed this for 475. He's
It's
crazy.
a nice piece of property.
This area, you're not going to get more than
I don't know there
260,
myself, but this is where
270.
we raised our kids at this house. So,
Why
that's
would an
what
agent
like.
accept that? Well, we'll see. I don't know.
So we raised our kids, and I said, watch me. The only thing I fall in love with is my wife. Everything else is for sale.
Well, that's good.
Right? Hey, I'm a funny guy. I like to joke around. I always say your customers are like your teeth. Just brush the ones you want to keep.
Okay, great. Well, I didn't want to waste your time. I hope the property sells, and I'll check back in with you in a few weeks.
Hey, that's great. I appreciate you reaching out.
No problem. Have a great weekend.
Have a nice weekend as well. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You are now connected to the Bridgerton dialer.
All right, so he said he listed his property for 475. I don't know. I know the market's hot down here in Florida, but there is nothing selling over. Let me see. There's nothing selling for over 259 in this area, so I don't know. We'll check in with them. And notice if a property is listed on the market, the first thing I do is I let them know, hey, like we are a real estate investment company. Typically, we don't buy properties that are listed on the MLS only because you're looking to get full market value or above. As an investor, I can't pay full market value above. I'll be losing money. However, we do have a team of agents. Now, since this is already listed, I don't think we would be a good fit. So, and this is what's going to happen. When you tell people that, they're either going to say, well, what's your cash offer? If they show interest in hearing a cash offer after you set the expectations that you may not be a good fit by doing that kind of takeaway, then they're gonna be okay with you giving them a low offer because you let them know from the beginning. What you don't want is to try to make a deal happen when it's not a deal. I don't want to push for a deal if somebody is A, listed on the market, and B, they're asking just crazy price, right? Only if they show interest in your cash offer, then you continue. But if they don't, I say, hey, no problem. We'll check back in a few weeks, or, if it doesn't work out, give us a call back. We'll be more happy to help. That's it. I don't like spending time on people, that just, it's not going to go anywhere. All right. Anyways, nice guy, bad price. That's okay. All right, next one, we are still in New Jersey. Then we're going to Sarasota, Dayton, Ohio, Baytown, Texas, Houston, Texas, North Carolina. So let's call this one in New Jersey. I don't know who submitted that last one, but I guess it was the wrong name or something. All right, so let's give this other one a call. Yeah. Don't ever go after listings. I mean, when you're marketing for leads, sometimes that's normal. You're going to get some people that already list the property on the market. But you have to set the expectations very clear. All right. So this person's asking 370. The property's in really fair condition. Let's see here. He's looking to retire in July. Is moving to Florida. A lot of people from the north are moving to Florida, especially after the whole pandemic stuff. All right, so let's see what they say. Let's look at this is a triplex. Okay. Let me call them back. When it comes to multifamily properties, you got to get more information. What's the unit mix? How many bedrooms and bathrooms in each unit? Are the tenants on a month-to-month or annual lease? What is your gross income? What is your what are your expenses? That includes utility, water, like trash, all that stuff. You want to get more information out of them as much as possible. If it's vacant, how long has it been vacant? What were the previous tenants paying an XYZ? Because not all markets you're going to have. Didn't answer. Not all markets. Whoops. Not all markets are going to have cookie cutter multifamily. And I'm talking about like from duplexes to quadplexes. Okay, not all of them are going to have an exact comp. That's not how it works. Sometimes depending on market, you got to look at the cap rate, the income, the price per door, those kinds of things. There will be sometimes we see an exact like property, similar unit mix, all that stuff, and same year built, all that stuff, and that way you can kind of know what kind of offerings you'd be at. It's worked for me a few times here in Florida, but most times you got to get a lot more information. All right. The next one is in Sarasota, Florida. Asking $35,000. Wow. Okay. All right, let's give this one a call. I thought this was a lot, asking $35,000. I guess not. Let's give this one a call. Give me 1 second. All right. Sarasota, Florida.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Steve.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Steve.
Speaking.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Steve, and I believe you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Axminster Drive in Sarasota. Were you still looking to sell?
Correct. Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm in here showing it right at the moment.
Okay. Did I catch you at a good time?
Hello?
Yes. Did I catch you at a good time?
Well, I can talk with you a wee bit later. What I was going to suggest to you, if you can send me, if you could text me your email, and correct spelling of your name, telephone number. As soon as I get done here, I can get right back to you. And then what I've done is I've got a property description and a bunch of material that I've learned about the property that will give you a full appreciation of its value.
Okay, great. You spoke with Raymond a while back. I will pass this information along to him, and I'll make sure he checks back in with you, okay?
All right. We are in our end stages, though. We are going to be selling this place within the next week or so.
Okay, and you said you're asking $35,000 for, right?
That's correct.
Great. I want to ask you a few questions. Do you have about 5-7 minutes, if that's okay?
Yeah. You're going to be walking around out?
What was that?
Okay. Cool.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. I suppose I can wind up covering some of that. Here, let me sit down. I've got a property description here. Let me pull it up.
I'm having a hard time finding this address anywhere.
Okay, let me get my glasses on.
Let me get the correct address because I can't find this anywhere, guys. I'm going to mute myself real quick and I'll unmute myself. Give me a second.
All right. 5764
Because I'm having a hard time finding this on the computer.
Well, sometimes people do because they're looking for, they're looking at it as though it is it is an address that includes the land underneath. This is a home which is on a lot. It's situated in the campus of Camelot East Village, one of the best manufactured home park in Sarasota. Lot is pet friendly, large backyard. The overall cost per month is $1,097. Covers the lot rent, the sewer, the water, the garbage, the grass, some yard work, all of the amenities, and it also the homeowners association, of course, and it also includes $168 a month towards real estate taxes. So I lumped it all in there to be covered under 1097.
Okay. Wait, how much is the lot rent?
Well, as I say, it's 1097 minus 168 covers all of the stuff other than the real estate taxes.
Gotcha. So this is a co-op. It's owned by the community, right?
This is a situation where you are leasing the land from the co-village.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Got it. Okay. Just want to make sure. All right, great. I will speak with Raymond, and we'll crunch the numbers, and then we'll get back to you, okay?
All right. My suggestion would be, as they say, send me an email, send me, that other material, and I'll send you out all of the stuff that I've got. I've also got 24 pictures, 2 curb shots, and 42 pictures of the amenities.
Perfect. Thank you.
Copacetic. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So usually when it comes to mobile homes, if they're owned by the community, I'm not a mobile home expert, but in my experience, obviously, if it's owned by the community or co-op, you can't just buy it. There's a lot rent. You know what I'm saying? So typically, I really refer those to agents. I was wondering, $35,000 for a house in Sarasota? Sarasota is a really good city, but this is a mobile home. So Raymond, you submitted this lead. If you'd like to get back to this gentleman, text him your email. I'm not going to reach out to this guy. Make sure you reach out to him and get some information in regards to that. Okay. I think 35,000. It's just on point for a listing, in my opinion. All right, so let's move on to the next one. We got one in Dayton, Ohio. Let's give them a call. Dayton, Ohio. All right, so this one, seller said to give him best offer. What repairs are needed? None. Ready to sell in 6 months. Personal issues and needs to sell.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Let's call him right back. Give best offer. When you're talking to sellers, you never want to spit out a number.
Your call has been forwarded.
Looks like they're not picking up. We're going to move on to the next one. When somebody says, give me your best offer, don't give a number, a specific number. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Remember, always give an offer range. The way, a lot of people struggle with giving offers because they're not, in my opinion, you're not presenting them correctly, right? Sellers, a lot of times, they don't like, giving an offer. They don't like giving an offer. They want to hear your price and all that stuff. But the thing is, if you give a number out, you're committed to that number. If it's too low, you look bad. If it's too high, it's not going to be a deal. So what works for me and my company is I start off by anchor pricing. You want to give the lowest property that's sold in the area. And that's not what your offer is. That's just a way to see how motivated somebody may be. Okay? And then if they say, well, what's your offer? What's your offer? What's your offer? Basically, my offer ranges are the anchor price up until $5,000 to $10,000 underneath your max. So a quick example. If the ARV is $300,000, okay, and you see cash buyers buying similar properties, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, year built, similar condition as is. They're selling for $160,000. If I want to make $10,000, my max offer is $150,000. Okay. So if somebody says, what's your offer? What's your offer? Well, are you familiar with Main Street? Yeah, what about it? This property on 123 Main Street sold for $50,000. Oh, you're crazy. I'll never sell for that. I'm not saying that's what I would pay you. I'm just giving you facts in the neighborhood. So what's your offer, Steven? What's your offer? Well, in order for this to make sense to us, we'd probably have to be anywhere between, 50 to 140. The seller will never pick the bottom number, okay? They'll never gonna say, I'll take the 50. That sounds great. They're always gonna want as much as possible, right? So if your max offer is 150 and the 140 is interesting to them, or maybe they want 145 or 150, you're already making $10 to $15,000, right? It's a negotiating game. Sellers, not that they purposely lie, right? You want to always be transparent, do business the right way. But sellers, when it comes to numbers, they don't know what their house is worth. They just know the least they're willing to take. Remember, sellers, sometimes they'll just go on Zillow, see the Zestimate, that's how much they want. When in reality, the least they're willing to take is a specific number. It's our responsibility as investors, especially wholesalers, to figure out what that number is without saying your max offer, if that makes sense. Okay. If you guys want more information on that, I do have that master closer course you guys can check out. Just DM me on Instagram. I'll give you a promo code, 80% off. But I talk a little, really a lot more specific about negotiating, because that's what I'm good at. That's what people know me as, the master closer is what they call me. And it's because I've been doing sales for, 13 years. So I simply just apply everything throughout my sales career, door to door, over the phone, multi-level marketing. I applied it to real estate, and it's beautiful transition. So it's just, when it comes to negotiating, you got to be upfront, transparent, but you got to play the game at the same time. Okay. Hopefully I gave you a little good tip there. Okay. All right. Next one. We are going to Baytown, Texas. Baytown, Texas. All right. So Mr. Soda, let's copy and paste this onto Call Tools. Okay. All right. So this person is asking how much? 65,000, everything, full guts. Hello?
Hi, you've reached Griselda Perneda. I'm unavailable at the moment. If you can't...
Let's try calling back one more time. Texas is, remember, it's a non-disclosure state. So when you're running comps in Texas, you have to go by MLS comps. So you need something that pulls MLS data.
Hi, you've reached Griselda Perneda.
So she's not answering the phone. We're going to move on to the next one, which also is in Texas. It's in Houston, which is an amazing market. Let's call this person. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be putting out a lot of content in regards to negotiating. Some of you know my personal stuff, the 75 Hard, the boxing event. Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Quadros?
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, my name is Steven. I think you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Gillies Pie Street. Were you still looking to sell?
No, I'm not going to sell no more. People are not serious, man. They just want to bullshit you.
They're wasting your time?
Yeah, all the time. So I'm not even going to worry about that no more.
So you would sell for the right price, though, right?
Nah, not right now. I don't want to talk to nobody. Just I'm going to give a break to myself. I'll be dealing with this house for like 3 months already.
Yeah.
I done said it. Nobody's really serious about it. Yeah. So I'm going to just let it sit there and maybe the money goes up.
Oh, it's rented out?
Nah, it's not rented out right now. I just got it there.
Okay.
I just got it sitting there.
Okay. So no matter how much we paid you, you wouldn't be looking to sell at all?
Well, if I get a good money and somebody's serious, yeah, why not?
Okay.
But right now, I'm just kind of holding off on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
There's so much bullshit around.
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. We are an investment company, and I'll let you know up front. I don't like wasting my time or the seller's time. If we're not a good fit, I'll let you know. we also have a team of agents, but at least I'd like to see what we can give you if you have about 7 minutes, if that's okay.
Nah, because if you're calling me, you already know what the property is and everything. So if you're driven by, you know. So like I said, everybody calls me. Let me take 3 minutes out of your time, and they never do nothing.
Yeah, no, I understand. I got some basic notes here, but I want to ask you a little bit more specifically about the condition, because that's really going to tell me what number I'd be at,
Yeah, but let me tell you something. If you're looking at the property, you're not looking at the house. You're looking at the land. That's what I tell everybody. So I'm not even going to worry about it, And they'll come back and say, one guy came in and, oh, man, it needs some repairs. I said, I told you day one, the house needs repairs. I said, it's just a matter of me repairing it, but I'm not going to even deal with it, I just let it sit there, I know I got some money in there coming pretty soon.
He's not motivated, but serious. Okay, so you're saying the value is more in the land, right? Regardless of the condition.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody.
Okay.
But I guess just take a look at it, do your research, and then just call me back with a number.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like last time you spoke, my partner, you were asking about 100,000, right?
Nah, I'm asking more than that now.
Okay. What number are you at right now? Just so I don't waste your time, and I'll let them know.
About 140 for it.
140. Okay. I'll let them know, and if the numbers make sense, we'll give you a call back, see what we can do. Oh, you hung up. So this guy, he's serious, but obviously he's not motivated. If he says, I'll just let it sit there, he probably had a bad experience with other people. I mean, whether they're new or experienced. Some people, they think the land is worth more than the house. In some cases, it is. I'm looking at this area, and it's not. And he's not motivated, but you definitely need to follow up with this guy, because the thing is, if a seller gets multiple offers that are nowhere near his asking price, they're going to realize that they're not going to get the price they want. The thing is, if they're not motivated, they're not going to go above and beyond and try to, call back and say, hey, I'm now interested, unless you follow up. Okay, so this guy's serious about selling. He's just not motivated. As far as the price, let me see this. I mean, I think he's asked 140. I don't think that makes sense just by looking at some comps here. Let me see this. He does have a regular lot. There's nothing special about it. So yeah, if you submitted this lead, make sure you follow up back with him, because he is serious about selling. And if you follow up enough, you check in every 2 weeks or so. Okay. He might realize, man, I'm not getting the price I want. Maybe I'm negotiable now. And it looks like when you spoke with him, he was asking 100,000. And then after he spoke with 3 other investors, whatever happened, now he wants 140. So he's not motivated, but just because he's not motivated now doesn't mean he's going to be motivated later. Okay. So follow up is key when it comes to these leads. All right. So let's see what else we got. We got one in North Carolina. So let's give this person a call in North Carolina. You're going to get a lot of those people that I've talked to, sellers that I can give them exactly what they're asking, and they're just not motivated enough to pull the trigger. That's why you have to follow up with these people, because they may be in the middle of something. This is why I always ask, did I catch it at a good time? Do you have about 7 minutes? If you didn't catch them a good time, or they don't have the time frame you just mentioned, it's going to be a waste of time to try to talk to somebody. Okay? What did I just do here? Whoops. Okay. All right. So let's call this person in North Carolina.
Please leave your message for...
Oh, let's call right back. North Carolina, owner wants 300,000.
Please leave your message.
But that ain't happened.
Sure, Daniel.
Okay. I like your notes. Owner wants 300,000, but that ain't happened. Some people, remember, keep this in mind. If somebody says, let's say the Zestimate's 300,000 and they want 300,000, that does not mean that they will not drop. All right. So if they're motivated enough, they will drop. I've talked to people that have dropped $100,000 from what they were originally asking, because remember, people's opinion of value is completely different than the least they're willing to take. And you can't have yourself or your team start a conversation in the mindset of like, oh man, like I see the seller got, this lead got submitted by the cold callers. The seller wants 300,000 and the Zestimate is 300,000. This isn't a deal, right? And then your teammate or yourself might skip that lead. Do not do that. Do not do that, right? I used to work with a few investment companies, and like some leads came in and they were asking above market value or Zestimate, right? And then the agents would skip those. I would call those people. Oh man, I just inherited this property. It needs work. I anchor price them. They didn't like it, but we met in the middle, and it was, I made a pretty good deal size. But that's only because I was willing to talk to the person and figure out everybody's different motivation and pain points, right? If somebody's motivated, maybe they inherit the property, but they want as much as possible. Let me just go on Zestimate. Oh, wait, you're giving me comps to this. And we were talking to people in regards to comps. Don't say comps. People aren't going to know what you're talking about. What are comps? Comps in non-real estate investor language is similar properties and as is condition. Okay? That's what comps are. Use words like similar properties and as is condition, and properties are fully renovated. Okay? Don't say ARV to a seller. Don't say comps. I've heard people say, oh, I'm looking at cash comps here, and it looks like the ARV. They're not going to know what you're talking about. So just say, for cash comps, similar properties and as is condition, okay? And for ARV, fully updated, renovated properties, whatever you want to say. Just make sure you speak that same verbiage with them. All right, so we're moving back to, we got a few in Texas, New Jersey, Boston, Miami. So this one is in Houston. Let's see if this person picks up the phone. Let's give him a call. Turn this up. I think you can hear pretty good on the, if you're watching on YouTube. Hopefully you guys on Clubhouse can hear it pretty good too.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Oh, Mr. Quadros, I'm sorry. I just called you back. Wrong number.
What you got?
I just spoke with you.
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
I was calling in regards to your property on Gilly Pie Street.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not for sale, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. You bet.
Gilly Pie. Am I saying that right? Gilly's Pie. I don't know. Whatever. I called the guy back by mistake. This is the number I meant to call. First thing he says, not for sale. You notice anybody that you call and they say it's not for sale, not interested, you should always use this line. So no matter how much we paid you, you wouldn't be interested in selling? Well, how much are we talking? Well, what's your number? Well, what do all of a sudden they show interest because everything's for sale for the right price. Okay? That seller we spoke with, one of the first calls, he says he'll sell anything besides what he loves, his family, his wife, whatever, right? But the point is, real estate, and anybody would be interested in selling for the right price. That's the way it is, So always ask that, and if they say you can't pay me enough, whatever, I'm not interested, then they're not really motivated. But if you ask that question, so no matter how much we paid you, you wouldn't be looking to sell? Usually people show interest because they're curious to see what your number is, okay? So always use that line because that'll reel people back in the conversation. And especially if you guys are submitting these leads or your cold callers are submitting these leads, anybody that is submitted in your CRM by cold callers, or I'm sure you guys spoke with these leads or maybe your team, at some point they've showed interest. So, if I'm calling these leads back and all of a sudden they're not interested, something's happened from when you spoke with them to now. Maybe they had bad experiences with other people, just like that other guy. But that's why you got to follow up with those leads. So always ask that question to reel them back in the conversation, okay? All right, so this person's asking 160. Need some work. Vacant. Has a lot of properties. Beautiful.
Please leave your
Let's call one more
message.
time. Anytime a property is vacant, I mean, the person would be more motivated because it's just sitting there costing them money. Let's see what we got here. This person, still in the same lead. I don't know if they're going to pick up. If they don't pick up, we're going to move on to New Jersey. Okay. Hey, check this out. This person's not going to pick up. A lot of people ask me about follow-up. Let me just tell you a quick tip on follow-up. If you have a hot lead or your team has a hot lead on the hook and they don't answer the phone, you have to go above and beyond, or your team has to go above and beyond to stay on top of the lead. So typically what my follow-up process looks like, if somebody is interested and they're busy, they say, call me tomorrow. Make sure you get a time frame to call them back, a time or time frame. What I mean by that is don't just say, okay, we'll speak tomorrow. When you call them the next day, there was no commitment of time. So you don't know what time they're going to pick up, what their schedule's like. So typically what we want to do is, okay, no problem. What's a good time I can call you tomorrow? Call me at 9 a.m. Or they might say something like, I don't know, just call me tomorrow. All right, no problem. Do you prefer the mornings, afternoons, evenings? Call me in the morning. Well, guess what? What you've just done there is you've asked them for permission to call you, call them at that time, right? So if somebody tells you what time or time frame to call them back, your chances of them picking up the phone have increased drastically, okay? That's one of the biggest things. And if, let's say they say, call me at 9, and you call them at 9 and they don't answer, you have to start being aggressive. Remember, they gave you permission to call at 9, so don't be afraid or shy to call them. So if they don't pick up the phone when they told you to call them, I'm going to leave a voicemail. I'm going to call at 9. I'm going to leave a voicemail. I'm going to call at 12. Voicemail at 9, right? They're going to see a missed call, a voicemail, and text them. All right? So 9 a.m., call, voicemail, text. 12 o'clock, call them, text. Between 5 and 6, call them, text. Don't leave a voicemail 3 times a day. Leave a voicemail each initial phone call, and leave a text. So they're going to see 3 missed calls, 1 voicemail, and 3 text messages every time you call them. And you shouldn't feel bad because remember, they told you to call them at that time. You got to do that for 2 to 3 consecutive days. If they stop, answering, they're not, no feedback, no nothing, call from a different number. Use a Google Voice, use a call tools, use whatever else numbers. If they have a phone number that's still active, at some point, they're going to have to pick up the phone. If they haven't picked up the phone for like 2 weeks, skip trace them. Okay, see if you can get additional numbers, family, friends, relatives, and see if you can get a hold of them. Don't be afraid to lose a deal by calling too much. Be afraid to lose a deal by calling too little. All right, one of the biggest things. All right, so where are we at next? We were in Houston. We're going to New Jersey. I guess Texas isn't picking up the phone, so we're going to call this one New Jersey. By the way, if you guys want 500 text messages for $1 and a 14-day free trial of Batch Leads. Batch Leads is what we use for SMS and skip tracing. I've used a lot of platforms. I love Batch Leads. You can see the little ticker here on YouTube. Just go to batchleads.io/closer. You'll get 500 SMS messages for $1 and you get a 14-day free trial. Try it out. Okay, I highly suggest it. I started using them a few months ago. I love it, man. What I love about them the most is because you skip trace, you get your results back within minutes. Most skip tracing companies, you get it back 24 to 40 hours. You get it back instantly or within minutes, depending how large the list is. But I love it. I do it a lot within the app. All right. Anyways, let's call this one in New Jersey. Let's see if New Jersey picks up. We've actually closed a few deals here in New Jersey on the deal desk. So let's give this one a call. See if they pick up the phone.
This VA call as you requested.
What is this?
Once again, press 1. You are now connected to the predictive dialer.
Call. All right, there we go. Asking price did not say what repairs are needed. Updates, landscaping.
You are now connected to the predictive dialer.
So they're not picking up the phone, huh? Let me call back again.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Kylish?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Steven. I think you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on Jewett Street. Were you still looking to sell?
We are not looking right this moment, no.
You're not looking to sell no matter how much we paid you?
Oh, well, not at this moment, no. We have some issues to finalize.
No problem. When's a better time my partner could check back in with you?
Maybe a month or two.
All right, sounds good. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Bye.
I always ask that. If hold on a second, what's going on here? If somebody says they're not looking to sell because they're dealing with stuff, don't push it. I mean, we don't know what they're going through personally, or we don't know. But what you do want to know is when's a better time we could check back in. All right, I'm gonna give you all the space you need, but expect a call back from me or my team. All right, it's life. It happens. You call, they want to sell. You call them back. They're dealing with something personal, or they're just not in the mood to talk. No problem. I'll give you your space. When's a better time to call back? All right. People respect that, right? People don't like, like pressure sales and salesy people and all that stuff, right? You want to give them space to breathe and let them just get a time commitment when to call back. I feel that's the most effective. All right. So this person didn't pick up the phone. That person did, but she said to call back in a few months. So who submitted that lead? Miss Kylish in New Jersey. Fernando, you submitted that lead. Just make sure you call her back in 1 month. She said 2 months. Call back in 1 month. The reason I do that is because this is one of the biggest mistakes I see in this industry. When it comes to follow-up, somebody says, oh, call me back in 2 months. Call me back in 2 weeks. Call me back in, 3 months. When you call them, when they tell you to call them back and it's beyond 1 week, they might – remember, you're not going to be the only person they're talking to. They might sell to somebody else. The very first hard lesson I did that was in Tampa, $100,000 deal, easy. It was a development deal. The guy said, come back in 2 months. I called him back in 2 months, sold to somebody else. These people don't have a sentimental attachment to you. You could be the sweetest, nicest person on the phone. It doesn't mean that they're married to you. There's going to be other people calling them with offers. And if they beat you on the follow-up, you're going to lose the deal. So what I do is I cut that time in half. If they say call me in 2 days, don't call the next day. Now, if they say call me in 2 weeks, that's a good enough time frame to cut that in half. You know what I mean? So call them back in a week. The worst thing they're going to say is, hey, I told you to call them back in 2 weeks. Hey, no problem. Just want to check in with you, see if anything's changed. But I'll call you back in a week from now. Thank you. All right, so cut that time in half. She says call back in 2 months. That's fine. The worst thing they can say is I told you to call me back in 2 months, yada, yada, yada. It's okay. Remember, don't be afraid to lose a deal by calling too much, all right? All right, so let's move on to the next one. We are going to Boston. Remember, if you guys have any leads you'd like me to call, go to my Instagram, click the link in my bio, and there'll be a little lead submission sheet that'll ask you some questions about the deal, the lead, and then I'll call them. Make sure you please follow those rules because, there are a few times where I get like properties that have never been spoken to and some are on the MLS active, before they're listed before you submitted them. So that means you're purposely seeing them on the MLS and then submitting them. Now, if you submit them 1 week and then the next week on the MLS, that's different because people may have changed their mind. But please don't submit any leads on the MLS. The chances of locking up that deal aren't very high. Okay, so anyway, let's call this lead in Boston. Okay. Let's see what happens. So this person is asking, let me see. Seller told me agent says they're on 525. Seller says needs a full rehab. Tenant occupied by friend. Seller says I've had it long enough. How long can someone own a house?
Extension 2629.
So I'm assuming there's a realtor involved in this, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because you might have to go through the agent. I do see her needs a lot of work. Let's see if they pick up the phone.
I'm sorry.
No.
Extension.
So if they're working with an agent, I don't know if this is listed or not. Even if it's listed and it needs a lot of work, you can still work with the agent. Don't be afraid to work with agents. Some agents think wholesalers are bad people and vice versa. And we just got to learn how to work with each other. You got to work with a savvy, investor-friendly agent, and an agent has to work with a savvy, agent-friendly wholesaler. You know what I mean? You both got to work together. And, one thing that I'll say is if you're ever working with an agent, I've had some agents that say, oh, the seller feels more comfortable using our contract. That's fine. I don't mind if it's a deal killer. I'll go and use the agent's contract. I just have to make sure there's an inspection period. Number one, it's got to be assignable, right? It's assignability, inspection period. Okay? If it has that, you should be good. Okay? Make sure you check with your local laws and market, all that stuff. But as long as it's assignable, has an inspection period, I don't have a problem working with agents, or at least through them, because the seller's going to pay their commission anyway. And that'll just show them whether you're an actual rehabber or assigning it, whatever, you can get it done. All right? All right, so let's move on to Miami. Let's call Miami. Oh, I'm sorry, not Miami. I almost skipped Tamaric. All right, so let's give this person a call. A lot of these leads, they don't have a number, and that's okay. Sellers never usually give out a number right off the bat anyways, so that's normal. But remember that little tip I told you earlier today. Anchor price and give a range. Don't give an exact offer. And if somebody wants an exact number, they're analytical, you can say, oh, we'd probably be somewhere around this number. Make sure that's still a number that's $5,000 to $10,000 underneath your max. You don't want, the whole point of that is you don't want to be committed to an exact number. You want to sound uncomfortable delivering that offer range. Okay? The second you give a number, the second they have you. All right? All right, so this one is
George, so I can get to you. Leave me a message.
let's call back one more time. See if they pick up the phone. Asking price 190. He has original roof inside, needs TLC, needs some work, ready to sign for the right price. Looks like they're not going to pick up the phone. Let's move on to Miami, Florida. I like people that are ready to sign for the right price, because those kind of people, it shows they're motivated enough to move forward without you really even have to get into negotiations. Now, obviously, you're going to have to negotiate and make sure the numbers make sense for you and them. You got to create a win-win situation, but they are ready to take action. Sometimes you get people that just aren't motivated enough to do anything, even if you give them what they're asking for. And then that results into follow-up. Okay? All right, let's see what we got. Next one's in Miami, Florida. Okay? Miami is one of those high price point markets. There, you can still get deals there. I know a lot of people are doing great in Miami. Deals can be done anywhere. If you get a property at a deep enough discount, you can assign it to anybody, okay? and sometimes in markets that like it's not quote unquote saturated, you know. All right, so this one, Miami, Florida, doesn't have a price in mind. Remodeled 6 years ago.
Hello,
Mr. Beltran.
Mr. Yo. How are you?
Good. My name is Steve, and I believe you spoke to my partner a while back in regards to your property on 39th Street. Were you still looking to sell that property?
That's my mom's property, as a matter of fact. No, she's not looking to sell it right now. Thanks, man.
Okay. Oh, he was quick. Listen, what's the reason they want to sell here? Doesn't have a price in mind. Remodeled 6 years ago. This is his mother's house. Okay, I would call that guy back. But the thing is, if the property's remodeled 6 years ago, I mean, unless the guy is really motivated to sell at a discount. Remember, as a wholesaler investor, you cannot pay full market value or above full market value and expect to make a profit. Okay, unless you do like some really good creative financing stuff. But usually when it comes to cash offers, you know, there's not going to be enough of a deep discount unless their motivation is there. That's why I let people know whether they're looking for top dollar or quick sale, I can help out either way. You want top dollar? Great. We have a team of agents that can assist you. I think you're asking great price range on the open market. You know, are you looking for a quick sale? Great. I'm an investor. I'm not going to give you top dollar, but I could definitely make it a quick sale. You always got to pivot into what fits the homeowner. If the homeowner's motivated, they don't want to deal with commissions, closing costs, fees, a cash offer will make sense, right? If the person wants top dollar, they're not in a rush to sell, kind of like the other guy we talked to today. You know, a listing might sound good. So you got to present both options as long as they're motivated, whether they want top dollar or quick sale. Make sure you capitalize on these leads. If you are an investor just giving out cash offers, I'm telling you right now, you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table. Don't leave any money on the table. The market is hot right now. The market is hot right now. If they want full market value, you guys aren't licensed, work with an agent that is. Find a split for referring leads. Pay them a percentage of the assignment fees on going to the properties or getting a signature. Okay? The way I work with agents is that, remember, since I'm virtual in a few markets, we need boots on the ground. We want real estate agents to be that boots on the ground. Savvy real estate agents, okay, that are investor friendly. If they lock up the deal and they have to negotiate, the seller's like right there, you're not going to close every deal over the phone. There's going to be instances where they have to be negotiated in person, and in person is always a lot more powerful. So my model is this. If you're virtually wholesaling and the homeowner needs to be negotiated, you send the agent out there and they lock up the deal. They walk the house, they make them feel good, whatever. They lock up the deal. Make sure that at least we give our agents 10% of the assignment fee, which is pretty healthy spread, considering the average deal size is between 15 to 25. Okay. If the seller is not tech savvy, sometimes you'll get elderly people that just don't want to deal with computers, may not even have one. They just like to be old school, you know, pen on paper, face to face. If your acquisitions agent or yourself have agreed to price and all that stuff, and they just need a signature and the agent's available just for a signature, we'll give them 3%. Okay. Not saying you have to do this right off the bat. This is more on a scaled level. Sometimes it could be a flat fee, but I like almost overpaying my team because, I mean, if we move in volume, they're happy. Everybody's happy. Okay. On top of that, you can give all those listing leads to an agent and you can split that. You have to structure that legally. Okay. You have to structure that legally. Create a separate LLC, talk to the agents, go to real estate school. They learn more about the laws than the sales skills. And then when they hang their license under a broker, that broker, you know, if they're a good broker, they'll teach them the sales skills. Okay. So just learn how to leverage your relationships, create win-win scenarios, not only for yourself and the seller, But, with agents too, especially if you guys want to do this virtually, you need boots on the ground. Okay? All right. Let's make what time is it? One more call. Let's make one more call. This one's also Miami. And I never have a pre-assumption when I'm like, if a lead is motivated to sell just because they're asking a high price or renovated, it doesn't change my approach because I don't know why they were interested in taking the call in the first place, right? Just because the house is remodeled, just because the house, just because they're asking a lot doesn't mean, they can't be negotiated, right? Make sure you and your team don't have the mindset, oh, this isn't a deal. They're asking too much. Oh, they want top dollar. Oh, it's renovated. It's not. It can happen. Trust me. I've wholesaled almost renovated properties. And the seller understands, right? I don't want to pay closing costs, commissions, fees. Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, is this Raul?
Hi, what can I help you with?
My name is Steven. I think you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property on 43rd Street. Were you still looking to sell?
No, not right now. Thank you.
That guy sounded like he just woke up. I mean, they do party hard in Miami. I mean, it is 1 o'clock. I don't know. I'd call him back. Sounds like I caught him at a bad time. All right, cool. So check this out, guys. Next Friday, I'm actually in the process of doing a lot right now. I got a baby girl on the way due in May. I got a fight in 8 days, and I'm moving. So there's a lot going on in my life. So next week we won't be having the deal desk. I want to let you guys know that right now because I still get DMs when I announce this stuff. Hey, what's going on? Are you on? I'm not on. If you guys don't know by now, before I get off, I'm having a charity boxing event with other entrepreneurs, and this is something we might start having quarterly because it's a pretty good response, okay? So we're raising money. May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, if you don't know that. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, okay? And we're going to be raising awareness and money for a local charity I have here in Tampa. It's called Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, okay? And the event is Saturday, May 1st. The tickets are sold out. You can't attend in person anymore. But what you can do is you can watch the live stream, okay? And a portion of the proceeds do go towards the charity. They will be there. They will speak about the importance of mental health, especially when this COVID pandemic stuff hit. It really affected a lot of people's mental strength. You know what I mean? So we felt that was a charity that touched not only my heart, but my partner's heart that's helping me organize this. So we felt it would be a good fit. So if you're interested in watching some entrepreneurs, including myself, put the gloves on and go at it, just go to efcboxing.com. You could use a promo code Steven and get a little discount, but it's all for a good cause. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm fighting in the event I created. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. And, we're going to start probably doing these quarterly, depending how many people participate. But, and if you are interested in participating and you're an entrepreneur, shoot me a DM. Say, hey, Steven, I want to join the next one. And what I do is I just match you up with somebody similar weight and experience. That's it. This isn't a freaking, nobody's trying to murder anyone in there. Okay. They're going to have headgear. They're going to have 16-ounce gloves. And you're going to be matched with somebody like most of these entrepreneurs fighting have zero experience, except for me and my opponent, which are the main event. But, everybody else has zero experience, and that's okay. So I really respect them for participating. It's going to be a lot of fun. Watch the live stream. Guys, have a great weekend. Go crush it, all right? If you have any leads, remember, click the link in my bio so I can call these live on this show, all right? All right, guys, go have a great weekend. Go crush it. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 36. Have a great day, guys.